Hi, and welcome to what's new in File Manager on Commander Pro version 5.1. Let's start with first the directory table. So here I have two directory tables. Now the search has been improved. So let me go show you over there. So you see I have two same files and sometimes not the same date, but now you can compare them by searching with, for example, same name. So you see now it will show the file with the same name, but if I search with subdirectories and same names, you'll see that here this will be some files that will be, all the files are not the same names here. So let me check like this. You see, for example, here you have file 5, and it's not in the destination in the compare directory, which is another directory. So if I only search the file with the same name, I can do like this, and it will compare it to the destination directory and report only the file with the same name. Of course, I can also do the negation of it, and then it will show me the different files that are not in the destination part. Same thing, now you can also compare with, instead of same name, you can do with the same file. And here we'll also compare the size and the date of the file. So only the file here that have the same name, the same size, and the same date are listed. And you can also search for more recent. And now you'll see the file that have the same names and have a more recent last modified date will be listed. So this way it's going to be easier to compare directories, or for example, to synchronize directories. So this is the update in 5.1 for the directory table. Then for the text editor, so let me show you, this is a text editor included. There was some problem in the personal edition of On Commander, which is a free version in saving the file. So this also has been fixed. And also some update in the Applet Runner panel. So let's open new Applet Runner. Let's put it in the new tab. Let's call it the test in this case. Then now in bookmark, you have a new function, which is the I. Let me check. Yeah, it's loading the applet. And also in the bookmark, let's wait. Yeah, so basically it's an applet that will follow the mouse cursor when the mouse moves. Then in the text utilities, there used to be a toolbox twice there, and sometimes in others. This also has been removed. Bin shells, you used to have a bin shell panel, I think over there, and it has been removed. It has been removed because now you can also start bin shell here from the Applet Runner plugin. So basically, it's you don't want to have it twice over there, so just use the one that is included in the Applet Runner. And for SSH, it's going to be probably the same thing. So now you see you have an SSH applet that will launch exactly the same thing that you do with the SSH panel. So the SSH panel is probably going to be removed in favor of the applet. Actions. So let me kill this one. I think we're done with it. Yes. So when you were computing stats, let me check days ago. Now you also have to do copy C to copy the file information, but it was not copying exactly the text, it was copying the data behind it. So now if you apply it Ctrl C, it's going to copy what you see here. Then moving files. So if I would move like one file to another one, it's also going to, let me show it to you. Now you see it also refresh the source directory and the destination. I think it used to you need to refresh the destination part, but of course when you move you also need to refresh where it's coming from. This is it. Let's move it back. Some files, some action. So it used to be in clipboard, now it's to clipboard. When I create multiple directories, so if I go right here, so it also will indicate the name of the directory where I'm creating it. Yeah, sometimes, for example, if I was here, I'm in a file and I wanted, for example, to create a directory. So if I would go there and create directory or new file, for example, it will use what we know the panel location as source. But yeah, in this case, the panel's location would be a file. So you cannot create a new file inside a file, so it would fail. So now when you do like create a new file, it will use a parent directory as source and not the file. Same thing for creating directories and so on. The tutorial, so you've seen it. So here is a new tutorial. Let me show it to you. It's much more details, much more exercise. It will go in much more advanced things. So it has been greatly improved. And now it's also in the help menu. You have a generate tutorial. And because of this, there used to be an action called create demo files where you could practice some of the, for example, classify. But now it's, or you see, it's in the tutorial for testing classified files. So there's no need for also creating demo files anymore. Copy name with options. So let me show it to you. In this case, let's go, for example, back here. And it was so copy name with option. You could also copy with relative names, but this was also failing. There was a bug in there, so keyboard. And now you see it's copying also the relative names correctly. So this has been fixed. Oops, sorry. And now we are in a file. So clipboard, you can also cut, copy, and paste files. And sometimes when you were cutting and pasting a file, it was copying the file instead of moving the file. And also copying files sometimes were failing where you were on different file system in the free version. So on Commander Personal it was failing. So this also had these things, and the same problem appeared with emptying content or split file failing in on Commander Personal. There's a new task that is restart as administrator. So sometimes you will get an error that you cannot create a directory or you cannot copy a file or delete a file. So you can restart on Commander Pro as administrator. And the one that I was showing also show file stats. Now it's gonna make because before it was retaining the size of the window, but it may have hidden some buttons and things like this. So now it's always use the preferred size for this window. And also, yeah, so you can also duplicate the file. So let me duplicate file action. It was, so basically you can enter new names without the extension and it adds the extension. But it was using the first dot in the file name for the extension instead of the last dot of the file name. So this also has been fixed. So now we have a new file system, which is a bookmark file system that I'm quite proud of. So I will demo it to you. So a bookmark file system. So you used to have the bookmark file system that basically go into your bookmark and will create a file system from your existing bookmark. But here it will just take a file. So you can start with an empty file and you can add bookmarks in this file. So they are not related to the bookmark inside On Commander Pro, and it's just going to be a file containing some bookmarks to other files, to real files. And let's now create a new bookmark file. So let's call it test bookmark file system. So basically what it's going to do, it's going to create an empty file with the extension bookmarks. You see 0 bytes. And when you, so it's an empty text file in this case, but you can open it. And if I copy, for example, a file in it, let's copy some files with some contents. So now you see, oh, let me refresh it. So now the file is no longer empty. So if I look what's in this file, you'll see I have 2 bookmarks, the ones that will go to the copy file 3, and the one that goes to the 13 file copy clipboard copy 1. So let me close it back. So you see now it's a text file, but if I open it basically by double-clicking and inside the text file, but it's look like a directory, and it has the 2 files that I've mentioned. I can even see the file. Basically, it will go directly to the correct file. It will go to the bookmark location, and I can, if I delete it, it will basically delete it from the list and not from let me check here. What was it? Copy 1, I think, at the end. So you see it's still there. There. So this way you can organize the file that you prefer. Ooh, not this. So this way you can put the file that you prefer. So for example, let's go. Do you have any files here? No, I can go back here. So you see now I have a directory with 2 files that are from 2 different directories. I can even copy like a directory, and basically this one would just contain, if I do plus in a new window, you see here it doesn't contain the subfiles, it just contains a pointer to the directory. So if I would go to, now I'm in the bookmark file, but I would go to sub, it will directly go, it will go to the directory that is this one. So you'll see the files. Yeah, so it's still in beta, so be careful with it, but as you can see, it's a text file. So if you have some problems, you can always edit with a text editor, the text file. It's pretty easy. Now the RAM file system, again, it has been re-added to On Commander Personal because it was used. Let's go with hidden files. So as you can see now, there's some hidden files. You can see the transparency of the icon is now a bit less transparent than it used to be. And also the color is a bit darker than it used to be. And now also when it's in the home directory, it's also better at identifying hidden directories. So, and also applying transparency in the user home. Yeah, so sometimes when you're deleting directories with subdirectories and subfiles and so on, there was probably some tempo issues. So now I'm trying, if it's at the end the directory is not deleted, I'm trying another time. So now when you go for roots, this time can take quite some time to load. So this one is done at at the beginning in parallel, so it's cached. And same thing with some Docker. You can also have some Docker like that's called special directories, and this one are also cached at the startup of the application. So this kind of window will display faster. Then what do we have? Yeah, LST file. So let's create one. LST. Okay. So now I have a file. So let me show it to you. So you see it's a file that you can browse by double clicking, and then it will show me some other files. So basically here I'm in the LST files, but you can see it's like a compressed directory. And basically now if the directory, the first line that is indicated exists, it will map automatically. So before you had to use something like match LST with directory, and you had to point to the directory corresponding to the LST file. But now if this one already exists, so now if I'm in this case I'm in the LST, and if I decide to view a file, it will automatically go to the existing file. Yes, so sometimes when you are copying some, let's do some copy. Let's say I copy some file and I'm copying again, then you have a conflict. It says, hey, this is the same file, do you want to override it or not? And I used to use caching date and size, but now not anymore because it's kind of changed from another program and so on. So now I don't use cache date and size anymore in this panel. Also for compressed files, I've improved the fact that you can reload in there. As already mentioned, the tutorial is added. Now you also have, like you can see now, separators in the menu that were missing. The navigation menu has been improved. So now you have, for example, go to text field. That is also already included in the menu. You have a new file system where you can go to other kind of file system. Histories also has been improved. So a better menu, and of course, as always, some bug fixes and small improvements, including in the application framework. Yes, so thank you for watching. You can download it at www.oncommander.com. Here we go. So just download it for whatever operating system you have. So I'm gonna upload the 5.1 pretty soon. And that's it. Thank you.